Imagine someone who has spent 30 years bridging the gap between global giants like Bloomberg and Hallmark, almost didn't apply for her dream life because she thought she was, in her own words, nothing unusual. This is Audrey, a world-class media executive who found herself at a crossroads. Her daughter was in America. The media industry's heart was in America, but the path to getting there seemed like an impossible mountain of paperwork. In this episode, we explore the EB-1 Extraordinary Ability Visa. How do you break down a daunting EB-1 visa process into bite-sized chunks? And most importantly, if you're sitting on a career of success, why are you the last person to see your own value? Just a quick reminder, if you appreciate this in-depth content, please take a moment to like and subscribe. It helps us bring you more. Now, on with the story.
I'm originally from Ireland, from Dublin, and I moved to London many years ago. I went into television, which is what I'm in now, on the commercial side, which essentially means that I join platforms, whether it's cable or satellite, digital, terrestrial, whatever type of vehicle it is to deliver content to homes. I work with the platform owners and the channel owners to join them together to provide a mixed bunch of channels for their viewers. I worked recently with Bloomberg Television. I've also worked with Sky News out of the UK. On the entertainment side, I worked for the Hallmark channel. And I also currently working on content delivery, just individual shows in addition to channels. And the channels are to be distributed across Europe, Middle East and Africa. So I've been traveling the world for the last 30 years to do so. So one of the reasons I considered moving to the US to continue my career, probably my first driving factor is that my daughter lives here. And she, in fact, had also taken this route and through Chris Ingram obtained her visa and green card. So I was encouraged by that. And it goes without saying, the weather, the lifestyle, and the fact that I'm in media, it's the key place. It's the place to be. So I thought, why not put them all together and have a go?
She lists these massive global brands like it's just another day at the office. We often downplay our own expertise because it's just what we do. Have you ever had a moment where someone else had to point out that your normal is actually extraordinary? What was that skill for you?
So Chris gave me just superb advice and told me that what I should be chasing should be an EB-1 visa. Now, for that, I had to meet certain criteria. So the criteria that Chris told me that I would be best working on was my critical role and roles that I've held, the commensurate salaries to reflect those roles, and also my credibility in the industry through published articles about me and what I do. So I did have to do some work myself. Couldn't just totally rely on Chris to go away and get me my EB-1 visa. At first I looked at the list of things I would have to do and found it rather daunting. But when I began to really think, what do I need to do, and broke it down into bite-sized chunks, it was actually going to be quite easy to have it all fall into place. I thought that the process was going to take an awful long time. And having spent in the region of 6 months pulling all my paperwork together and Chris making it into the style that was required for review, I then decided that I must switch off and wait, that it would be a long wait.
She decided to switch off and just go about her business while waiting for a life-changing decision. That level of patience is a superpower. How do you handle the in-between times? Do you obsess over the refresh button, or do you find peace in the busyness of the present?
So I just went about my business. Part of what I do means that I go to Cannes in the south of France twice a year for the TV market. My paperwork had been submitted probably about 10 days when I just thought, I finished my day's work. It was time to come back to my hotel room, have a quick costume change before I went out for evening meetings and dinner. And I thought I'd just check my emails. And there was one from Chris telling me my visa had been granted. Well, I could not believe it. And I thought, no, I've read this wrong. So I read it several times. I thought, I've got to get ready. I really got to get out. I still haven't put my makeup on. I still haven't done my hair. They'll be waiting for me. But I need to read this again. No, it does say that. It really does say that. Perhaps I should check. So I decided that the best check that I could do was to call my husband. Initially, I told him, I have something to tell you, but don't worry, everything's okay, because when I'm traveling, he never knows what I'm going to call and tell him that there's a problem. But I said, don't worry, everything's okay, but I have got something that I want to talk to you about, and it's, can I just send you an email, and can you just read it, and can we then talk? And I still didn't tell him. And I sent him the email, and then we spoke about it, and we just couldn't believe it between both of us that it was 10 days. It was, just as Chris had said, I had been granted an EB-1 visa, and also my husband was joining me on our next adventure in the US. It was just amazing.
Imagine, no makeup on, hair not done, running late for a meeting in the south of France, and your entire future changes in a single click. If you got life-changing news right now, who is the first person you would call? And would you make them read the email themselves just to be sure you weren't dreaming?
As part of the process, I also had to look at, from a practical point of view, what work I think I could pick up. And was I being sensible and not just clouded with all the other attractive issues that was luring me to the US? So in the process, part of what I had to do was also to make those inquiries seriously. And I was absolutely thrilled that I got at least 6 responses from my networks in the US who also said, give me a call. Once you have your visa, your green card, call me because we've got work we can do from here together. So it's exciting to know and also encouraging that when I do settle and land here, I've got a starting point already from my business. I have, in addition to that, advised all my UK contacts where I will be and what I can do for them while I'm there. So I'm very positive and feeling very confident about my future career while I'm here in the US. In thinking about whether I should, or indeed you're watching this, whether you should go through this process, my advice is absolutely do. I actually met Chris 2 years before I did it. And I was encouraged by him then to do it, having outlined my career and what I do, and the possibility of me obtaining an EB-1 visa. So I didn't do it then. I didn't think that it would be possible because it was just me. What was so different about me? It's what I do every day. It's nothing unusual. And it wasn't till Chris highlighted to me again, when I was fortunate enough to meet him again 2 years later, but you're crazy. You do all these things. Not many individuals do these things. And you are sitting on all these achievements. If it's what you want to do, you have nothing to lose. So like I did it, do it.
Audrey's journey from Dublin to London and finally to the US reminds us that the biggest barrier to our goals isn't usually the government or the paperwork. It's the belief that we aren't special enough to qualify. She turned 30 years of just doing her job into an EB-1 visa in just 10 days. Audrey reminds us that when we break the daunting into the doable, the world opens up. Don't wait 2 years to find out you're extraordinary. Like she said, just do it. Thanks for watching. What part of his story inspired you the most? Let us know in the comments and follow our channel for more stories just like this.